The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development, with a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives. At The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co. Welcome everyone, it's Bernardo Moya, the founder of The Best You, and welcome to The Best You Expo, our first virtual expo. Very, very exciting. I want to thank everyone, first of all, everyone that's been involved in the production of the event. I want to obviously thank my team. I want to thank all the speakers, the exhibitors, the sponsors. I want to thank obviously all the ticket holders, everyone that's going to be joining us this week. And well, listen, it's going to be an amazing week. It's going to be an amazing week, and we've got so many great things lined up for you. So I'm very, very excited. I'm going to be sharing a lot of stories throughout the week. I'm going to be inviting quite a few guests. So every single morning, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be sharing ideas, and I'm going to be inviting some of the amazing people, because I was checking this morning to see, and we've got 350-something sessions. It's just madness. It's a marathon. I should have rang the Guinness World Record to kind of like see if we're actually breaking a record this week, because it's unbelievable, 350 sessions plus, and they're still growing. So it's going to be an amazing week, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of stories. As I said, I'm going to be inviting guests, and every single morning here at 10 a.m., I'm going to be here just to kind of announce and make you aware of all the amazing things that we have. Now, there's a schedule there, and what I'm going to do now in this short time frame, the next 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, is just simply to give you kind of the house rules and to give you some kind of guidance on the best practices. Look, there's no problem. If you're having some trouble with technology, guess what? It's life. Technology throws that things at you. When you think you understand technology and you and them are friends and you and him are friends or you and her are friends, then guess what? It shows you the crude reality. So I'm sure we're going to have some technical hiccups, and I'm sure there's going to be some issues throughout the week, but change your state. Just make sure you go with the flow. Everything is going to be all right. And the worst case scenario, if all of a sudden I lose my internet connection, don't worry. We've got some videos to play here for you. So look, ask questions. If there's anything that you need some help or support with, please do. If you're a speaker and exhibitor, reach out to our information desk. We've got that there. But have a look around. If you're one of our guests, go and check out all the speakers. Register for the sessions. Remember, if you can't see them live, you might be able to watch a recording, because a lot of the speakers are recording their talks. I'm going to be putting them back in there. That's a great thing of a virtual event, that you can watch a recording. You can't do that live. And if you're interested in obviously connecting with the exhibitors, go to their booths. Go to the booths, because guess what? They might have their Skype open, and they might have their Zoom open, and you can connect with them, chat with them, talk to them. You can make appointments. You can buy products. It's a very, very cool system, and we really want you to take advantage of it and make the most of it. If you love the event, please tell everyone that you know. And if you don't like it, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone, please. And I'm not joking. So the bottom line is that we're here to have fun. We're here to learn. We're here to inspire. And everyone that is involved in this event does it from not only from a place of love, but they also do it with a place where, they invest. They invest time and money to be here. They invest time and money, and all of you, and all of us should be extremely grateful. We've done as much as we can as far as offering free tickets. We've offered thousands and thousands and thousands. We would love to invite everyone, but the fact is we can't. We're not an NGO, and we've made the tickets very, very affordable. They're only $4.99. And if you are slow and you couldn't get one of the free tickets because it is first come, first served, look, I'm sorry. It's the way it is. But, we would like to carry on doing this. We want to get to more people, reach more people. And we can only do that if you kind of help us and support us. So having said kind of all these kind of things, I want to highlight, but for me, it's going to be a lot of the amazing things that we've got prepared for the week. Now, first of all, obviously, we have a phenomenal lineup of speakers. And obviously for me, one of the highlights is Mr. Les Brown. Now, I've had the pleasure of sharing the stage with Les. I've had the pleasure of sitting front row and listening to him speak. And I remember the goosebumps in my body. I remember watching Les Brown many, 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 many years ago. And I remember how he inspired me then. So to have him at my show, speaking at my show, is a turning point in my career as a promoter. Obviously, Jack Canfield, too, who's speaking today. Delighted, honored to have such an amazing legend speaking at the event. And and the list goes on and on and on. We've got a great surprise. We've got Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's dad, who's actually going to be sharing a very cool video Now, I'm not saying Beyonce will be at the Best You Expo, but we're getting very close. So more on that coming soon. We've got film premieres. We're going to be showing you some of the film premieres that we're going to be showcasing here. And we're going to be also showing you some live music. We've got yoga. We've got Pilates. We've got everything. So enjoy. Have fun. It's going to be amazing. And I'm going to share the story of how this started. And how it started was, I remember like 6 years ago, I came up with this idea of the Best You Expo. And my staff said, Bernardo, you're mad, as always. You know, I come up with these mad ideas. I had this idea, this concept of inviting as many people, because thinkers, authors, leaders are very, very generous with their expertise. And I thought, how cool would it be if I could bring them all together, if I could combine them all together under one roof, where it's anti-niche, where we wanted to invite anyone and everyone that's in the personal, professional growth industry that would like to obviously kind of like, you know, make sure that they could share their expertise, but they could also find inspiration. And that's what I wanted to do. And that's how the whole expo came out. And I share this story, 6 to 14,000. And the 6 to 14,000 is as follows. I didn't sleep for 5 months. I had hair when I started. I've got no hair anymore. And it's black. It was black and now it's gray. And I remember I didn't sleep for 4 months. And I went out to the door to see how many people were at the door. And I remember I had more staff than people wanting to come in. There was around 6 people. And I had around 25 staff waiting for the thousands of people that want to walk through the door. And I remember I did panic. It was very early. And I thought, well, I can't go to the bar this early. But I was very, very nervous. But I remember people started flowing. People started coming in. And we had 3,000 eventually over the 2 days. And it was an amazing experience. And then the 14,000 that was last year in London, in Olympia. And I walked out to the door. We were running a little bit late to open the doors. And I went outside to see the queue. And I couldn't see the queue. I couldn't see the queue. I had to walk to the other side of the road to see the queue. And there was at least 2,500 people waiting to come in. And it was such a beautiful aha moment for me. And I remember, well, I was so nervous I didn't even photograph it, which I should have. Would have been beautiful to have. But that was for me and that moment. And I knew that people have finally got what the whole idea of the Best You Expo is and was. So we've done a lot of things since then. We've done lots of expos. We obviously had this scheduled for March. There's a new reality out there. And I wanted to make sure that we continue to bring and deliver the message and to reach more people. And obviously what we're doing now is doing so. We're bringing this expo to you for 7 days. We want thousands and thousands of you to attend, but we eventually want hundreds of thousands. We've got 5 expos scheduled now for the upcoming 6 months. We've got, apart from LA now, we're doing Dallas in October. We've got Dubai, and we have Dubai at the beginning of November. We're going to be doing Miami. I'm offering an expo Latina and English. And we're also going to be doing an expo in London, back in London in February. So we've got those lined up and there's more coming. So we love that you're here. We hope that you join us in these other expos. And that's kind of a position to where we are. So as I said, throughout this week, every week, I'm going to be doing this a couple of times a day. I'm going to be your host. I also have Tony Boldy, who's going to be helping me in the afternoons, because I am at the moment in Northern Ireland right now. And I'm running this from here. But I do intend to obviously be throughout the 7 days. I'm going to be hosting this. I'm going to be speaking. I'm going to be interviewing. And I'm going to be obviously an important part of the event. So I'm just excited and delighted to be here. So thank you so much. So I'm going to start inviting some of my panelists in. But before we do, I just want to give you a very quick break so I can just get myself into a position. So 2 quick adverts running for you just right now. Thank you so much. Be back in a minute.
For complimentary resources from my book, my complimentary e-course, The Power of the Question, or recommended reads, go to www.thequestion.com/resources. For more information on my coaching or mentoring, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
Yeah, thank you. So that's an exciting announcement that we're making. So the Best You TV is now a reality. I'm going to be streaming this through the Best You TV. We're live. We're going to be live in Roku from now on. And not only are we going to be live in Roku, we're going to be also appearing in other apps like the Apple, Google Play, and Amazon. So we're very excited about taking this, the Best You Expo, to the TV, to taking it to hundreds of millions of people. But we're also very excited in reaching more, in achieving more and doing more. So we're growing and we're embracing this new reality that we have, because either you embrace it or you're going to struggle. And that's what we knew. That's what we're supposed to be doing in the personal development world. Now, my first guest that I've got here is one of the speakers, which is Kerry Connolly. And I'm going to invite her to come in and I'm going to do a very quick introduction to Kerry. So Kerry is dedicated to helping you identify your God-given purpose through vision. As a sole visionary, Kerry's mission stems from her own adversity in her own personal life after losing both her husband and son to suicide. She believes that by helping people to see their vision and truly come to know what their purpose is, they will learn to create a legacy they wish to carry out. Now, these are two very important words to me, purpose and legacy. So, Kerry, I wanted to invite you in. So, how are you?
So exciting to be here, Bernardo. Love that you shared your vision of this whole thing, because that's my thing.
Well, thank you so much, Kerry. This is not, some people might think, well, that's not a great story, Bernardo, but we met at a bar. But we were speaking at the Think and Grow Rich for John Shin, and we were there, and we were both saying, oh, are you here to speak? Oh, yes, I'm here to speak. And then we started talking, and we just literally kind of like connected very quickly. Kerry, I'm so excited that you're going to be with us. You are a breath of fresh air. I know you've gone through a lot in your life, but you're an inspiration. And I love the fact that you work with your daughter too. I don't think my daughter, she actually worked with me for a little while. I don't think she could cope working with me for too long. But congratulations. And I'm very excited, not only that we've stayed connected, obviously, because you were scheduled to speak at the Best You Expo. And I just wanted to kind of welcome you. And I know you're going to be sharing and talking on the main stage later. So what are you going to be sharing, and what do you want to share with the world?
Well, I'm going to be talking on the main stage today at 1:00 Pacific time, and the title of the topic is To Stop Drifting and How to Lead Your Life with Vision and Purpose. I really want people to understand that no matter what is going on in your personal life or what's going on out there in the world, that when you have a very powerful written vision for your life that uncovers your purpose for you, that you can get through anything and not just survive through it, but actually thrive through it. So I'm going to be specifically today going through the 10 reasons why vision can fix just about anything you've got going on in your life and your career right now, and do a fun little exercise of how to actually start writing your vision on paper like you've never done before.
So when this happened, I remember we started doing some Facebook Lives. We had the Expo scheduled and everyone started doing Facebook Lives. And it's been obviously interesting. Everyone's trying to help. Everyone's trying to communicate, share their message. I think there was a bit of an overload. I think Tony, my production manager, was saying that, there's a Zoomitis, isn't there, out there? I mean, zoomed out. And then there's just too many events. I remember that I was very kind of trying to do as much as I can, and then I shut down because I just felt that there was too much noise. Mm-hmm. I think we shared that conversation. Yeah. It's about finding the right platform, connecting with the right people, and saying the right things at the right time. So what are your thoughts with what we're going through now, and how to embrace it, how to see the bright side?
Well, it's like you said, Bernardo, it is what it is. It's not going to change anytime soon, or if ever get back to the way it was. Do I wish that I was standing on a stage with a bunch of live, beautiful faces in front of me that I could interact with? Absolutely. But we're making this work. And I see a whole lot of good coming out of it. And I'm sure you are too, because this doesn't limit us geographically. We can reach all across the world with this one little technology right here. And who knew? So I think it's just really, if you embrace it and start thinking outside of the box, it's going to push you beyond where your limited mind can think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that I know I've come across quite a few speakers actually who love speaking, and I get it. And I'm a promoter, and I love promoting events where people can speak, but they still struggle to see the reality. Like, oh, well, I'm going to wait till next year. Well, I said, well, we'll be waiting too long. Or we've had people who wanted to speak at the event and says, well, do I need a Zoom account? What is a Zoom account? You're thinking, oh my God, where have you been? So, it's just you adapt or die. And that's really it.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Why is purpose so important? Why do so many people not identify or understand what their purpose is?
Well, purpose is everything. It's your calling. It's the reason you were sent here. It's the one thing, and the one thing that only you are fully equipped to do right now. And these are some of the 10 things I'm going to go through later today. But that when you are anchored in your purpose, like I have been for so long, Bernardo, and I know you have been too, it literally becomes the anchor in all the storms of life, the little stuff and the really big stuff. When you are rooted in knowing who you are and what you're called to do, you can literally get out of bed almost every single day, and no matter what's going on, and suit up and go do it. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. Not only for adults, around my age-ish, but I'm really passionate about our young adults. figuring out their vision and their purpose right now, because now more than ever, I think that they are feeling very, very lost with what they're seeing going on in the world today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, what I wanted to say to you is obviously the idea of connecting with as many people as possible. We can't wait for you to be able to share your ideas and your wisdom. So we're looking forward to seeing you later, Kerry.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here and very excited.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
And I'm going to invite my next guest in, and that's going to be Mas. So, Mas, if you're there, I'm going to be literally doing a very quick introduction. So, Mas has spoken at quite a few of our events, and a very brief bio. So, he was an ordinary computer programmer who was gifted with extraordinary abilities after 2 near-death experiences. Mas is an energy healing pioneer who shows people how to access their exponential intelligence to optimize their health, happiness, and success. He assists in shifting individuals' personal vibrations by removing their energetic blocks, creating fast and tangible results in all areas of their life. So, Mas, I'm very excited to have you here. How are you, my friend?
I am doing super well. How are you doing? It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. As always, when Mas and I speak, we normally text each other and we wear the same shirt. So I like that we're on the same page.
Again.
We're happening again, Mas. This is becoming people are going to start speaking. Well, listen, I met Mas. I remember he came to the event, and I didn't really obviously know who Mas was. It was just an exhibitor. I remember wherever he was like Willie Piper. Like everyone was just listening. There was just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and that was throughout the whole event. And I remember we actually finished the event, and I was having dinner. It must have been like 9, 10 o'clock. And he's outside on the street. I shared this story a few times. He's out on the street, and there must have been like 60, 70 people around him. And there were just people even walking down the street that just stopped to get some of Mas's energy. Mas, you have a phenomenal following. I'm truly humble, that you've continued to support us. I'm very excited to have you here. And I can't wait for you to share your expertise. So what are you going to be talking about at the Expo?
Well, it's really great to be here. It's really great to have or be around people the best we can. I mean, it's great to be in person, but, it's great. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, awesome. So high energy people, I love it. They actually shift and transform faster with the method that I do. And it's called exponential intelligence. So like you said, Bernardo, I've had 2 near-death experiences. I see this reality from a very different perspective, the higher version of who we are. And that's what I'm here for, bringing in that higher version of who we are. And it doesn't take decades. It doesn't take, sometimes for many people, it would only take, say, a few minutes. I'm going to be speaking about wealth DNA, what real wealth is about. So that's my first topic. And then the second topic is how to accelerate any self-improvement program that you've done, including, what you do, NLP or psychology or anything that you've done in the past. How can you get more out of those great teachings? And accelerate that. So it's going to be really exciting. And what I do, Bernardo, it's not a psychology or anything like that. I help you see yourself from a much higher level. So empowering you to, grab that genius that's deep within. Imagine if we could live from that genius that's deep within each and every day.
Well, you do that on a daily basis, Mas, and look, if any of you have followed his career, he's got a phenomenal reputation. But the man whatever he does is working, because he's just, every time I look at him, he looks younger.
Yes. Thank you.
So, Mas, what time can people check in to connect with?
It is 3 o'clock Central Time. In LA, that would be 1 o'clock. I believe. Yeah, 1 o'clock.
Great. Cool. Well, I want to thank you, Mas. I want to thank you so much for supporting us. I want to thank you so much for being here. And I'll make sure that we connect as well during the week. So I'll reach out to you. Take care.
All right.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye. So we're going to carry on going through the amount of people that we've got lined up for today, because it's just a busy morning. And I have lots of guests that are already here joining me. And I just wanted to highlight them because obviously, they're amazing individuals that have come on board to help and support. Some of them are new. Some of them have been with us before. And I'm going to do a very brief intro with someone who I haven't worked with before. but has reached out to me, and I know we've got many mutual friends, and his name is Darren Winters. So I'm going to do a very quick intro on Darren. Darren is a self-made multimillionaire investor and successful entrepreneur. He's the #1 attended investment speaker in the UK, having personally trained over 150,000 people. He has given talks to top exhibitions and investment events, including Investors Show in London, the Private Investors Show in Birmingham, and the London Business Show. Now, I've got a few questions, but I wanted to make sure that, because as far as I'm concerned, personal professional growth means covering any and every aspect of your life. And an important one, guess what, is obviously your financial success and making sure that you independently, you have the capacity to deal with, unfortunately, kind of the things that we're dealing with now. So, Darren, how are you, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm actually on a month's vacation at the moment.
Oh, you're in a month's vacation, are you?
Yes, yeah. Okay. I'm walking my talk, so...
Well, that's brilliant. And I don't think we're going to have many speakers that are actually at a monk's location right now. So excited to have you here. So, Darren, I was saying that as a coach and as a trainer, someone that works with clients, I really try to make sure that I cover all aspects of what I understand personal and professional growth to be. And obviously being financially independent is a very important one. And I think that people underestimate the value of that. People, especially coaches, they tend to focus on helping and assisting their clients with a mindset. But a good, strong mindset with a broke, when you're broke or with no money in your bank account, is more challenging than when you actually have and you're financially independent. I've got to say that I got quite late into life, into investing and learning about trading. And but I got to say, I love it and I really enjoy it because I've always I consider myself well read. So, what are you going to be sharing at the Expo? We're going to be sharing at the Expo, and what are you going to be sharing throughout the week, not only at the event but also in your booth?
Yeah, I would say I absolutely agree with you. Your financial position affects all other areas of your life, and everything becomes a lot easier once you've got a good income and you're growing your wealth. So what I'm going to be sharing is a few of the best strategies that I've learned over the last 20 years when I basically found the best traders, best investors in the world, got them to teach me, and I've now got a couple of very, very good strategies that you can use to get a great income and to grow your wealth. And I'm going to be teaching those full, complete strategies in my presentation. And it's things that anyone could do, even complete beginners. So a couple of nice, easy strategies that can get you earning some good income, growing your wealth. And the thing is, right now, as I heard you saying earlier, is really the best time ever to be learning this because of what's going on in the world. You need to have a way to get an income that doesn't rely on anything else, doesn't rely on the economy, doesn't rely on a job or a business. So fantastic time to be learning this, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, if anything, a lot of people have underestimated that and obviously are starting to look at obviously, becoming financially independent, and maybe at a time when it's more difficult. Can someone build a financial independence and an empire with a very small budget? Can someone with a very small amount of money all of a sudden, even within 6 months or 1 year, have what they need in order to kind of stand out and live the life that they want?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had clients who've started with very small amounts of capital, even $250, $500, $1,000, who've within 6 months, 12 months been in a position where they could say, okay, I feel comfortable now that I can meet my monthly needs. And from there, they built it further until they felt in a position where they could say, okay, I don't need the job anymore. I can quit the job. I can do this. I was going to say full time, but once you get good at the strategies I'm teaching, it is a couple of hours a week. I teach a time frame and strategies that take very little time.
Brilliant. Well, Darren, we're delighted to have you here. When can people connect with you? Well, apart from obviously your booth. And what is the name of your booth?
Name of my booth is Wealth Training Company.
Okay.
And my talk is tomorrow morning, 10:30 Pacific time. And yeah, just going to teach you some of the best strategies that I'm using right now.
Brilliant. Well, Darren, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for joining us at the Expo, and I'll catch you around. Take care. Have a great day. Thank you. Great. Well, we're going to do a very quick 30-second break, and I'm going to be right back introducing you to my next guest, who is Ona Brown. Ona, very excited to speak to you in 30 seconds.
For more information on collaborating, partnering, sponsoring, supporting, or speaking at any of our events, or finding out more about our legacy clubs, go to www.thebestyou.co.
Well, thank you. I've got to say, my American accent is getting better every day. Thank you. Ona Brown. Ona has made her mark as an expert in personal and professional transformation throughout the world, inspiring, motivating audiences in hundreds of cities in the US, as well as numerous locations abroad, including London, Sydney in Australia, Johannesburg in South Africa, Stockholm, Sweden, and many other countries. So I've got to say, I'm very excited to speak to you, Ona. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Bernardo?
I am delighted to see you, Ona. I always love speaking to you with that amazing, beautiful smile and laugh you have. Now, for those of you that may not know, Ona is, the one and only Les's Brown daughter. And
I'm his baby girl.
The baby girl with the brown smile, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And also the spiel, as they say. So, Ona, I heard you speak in an event that we were speaking together in New York it was Mirella Sula's event.
Global Woman.
That's right.
Yes.
And kudos to her who brought us together. And I remember you kind of really rocked it. So, Ona, very excited to have you here. What are you going to be sharing at the Best You Expo?
I'm going to be talking about dream ownership. And, it's a continuation of my father's legacy, Bernardo, because my father was telling people that they could live their dreams in the 90s. And now here I am telling people that they can own their dreams. You can live your dreams with Les Brown and you can own your dreams with Ona Brown. And so what I realized, and Dad and I realized, is traveling the world, is that we have more commonalities than we do differences, and that everyone has a dream. Unless life has beaten that dream out of them, most people have a dream. And so really helping them to be able to take ownership for their dream and not expect for something miraculous to happen. Not to say that miracles don't happen. We believe in those. But there are things that you have to do to position yourself so that it can actually come to manifestation. As much as I wanted to be able to run from speaking caught me. And I didn't really see myself as a speaker. I saw myself as an introvert. I saw myself as someone that would just support and serve in the background. And now being able to actually make a greater impact, helping people to find what it is that they really want, and then to hold them accountable to creating it, is something that I'm passionate about and I truly love doing.
So how have you transitioned in any way, if any? Well, I would assume that, I know you had a lot of public speaking engagements, but how have you embraced it, and what are you embracing about this new reality? Because there's a lot of conversations and questions that I want to have about how I think this is probably one of the greatest opportunities for society to change in so many different levels. There's no doubt that there's going to be a change in consciousness moving forward. Life will never be what it was again.
No.
How are you embracing it, and what are you bringing on board into the new you now, into this new reality?
Yes, that's so profound for you to say that, because I think so many people are seeing it as something negative. Of course, there are negative connotations to it and negative things that have happened, but there's so many beautiful things that have happened in the process of this. And for me, it's been about, I feel like I have not had this much time on the ground, and I can't even, it has to be over 20 years, because I started speaking, coaching, and training in 1995. And so hopping stages and time zones and continents was my normal operandi. And then before I even started my business in 95, I was doing it with my father. So it was always up and down, up and down, up and down. So to have this time on the ground, to be productive, to finish projects, to hone in. One of the things that was really big for us is that as a family is that my father had this book that he wanted to give birth to, and he had started it and restarted it. started it and restarted. And when we were actually in New York for Miera's event at Global Woman, he had started it over again. And so after 15 years, I said, Dad, we're here, we're on the ground, we're quarantined. Let's get this book done together. I'm going to help you. I can focus. And so we finished the book, You've Got to Be Hungry. And I launched a new publishing business, Brown Family Publishing. And so we're just so excited. We got #1 bestseller on Amazon the first week. And so it's a whole new world that I'm learning about in publishing. And so I'm so excited and working in the studio with my father, taking time to get quality time with my nephew, really working on me in the kitchen, juicing, learning how to make amazing salads, just doing more meditation, more self-work, more being the message that we bring and not having the excuse of being always on the plane and in the air. So I'm grateful for this time. And I'm hoping that we can all lock arms together and continue this work, this great work that you're doing with Best You to find the best part of ourselves, the greatest version of ourselves so that we can come out of this on a whole different level.
Well, thank you so much, Anna. We're very excited, and we're very excited to have you here, and can't wait. When are you going to be speaking? When can people? It's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, tomorrow I'm going to be speaking, and I think that's 1:30 Pacific time, from 1:30 to 2:35.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Well, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. I'll be introducing you tomorrow as well. So I can't wait. Can't wait to say hello to your papa. So send him my love. I can't wait to give him a real hug when I see him soon. That's
yes.
it. Have a great day and see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Blessings.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. So, guys, that's it. We're going to carry on. I've got a couple of more guests that are going to be joining me. And I've just got to make you aware that there's going to be a lot of Latino power coming this way, okay? So these Latinos are going to be speaking in English because, well, you know, they can. So they're able and capable of speaking in English. But I wanted to invite them to come along because the Spanish speaking is obviously a very important part to me. I'm Spanish. For some of you that may not know, my name is Bernardo Moya, and I am originally from Spain. My parents are both immigrants. They were both born in the south of Spain, but migrated after the war to London, and I was born there. So I managed to keep my language, my English accent, but I consider myself Spanish. I was brought up in Spain all my life. I just spent 6-8 years when I was younger, 9 years, and then another 10 years working in London. So I've had the pleasure of, and the honor of keeping both my languages and considering myself bilingual. I probably work-wise maybe more English, and then in my mannerisms, Spanish. So bringing the Spanish-speaking room to the Expo and then running Expos for the Spanish-speaking market is something I'm very passionate about. But I wanted to bring a couple of guests that I want to really thank because they really helped me and supported me from the moment go that we were going to launch this. And I just want to kind of expand on the idea of what Ona was saying is that I believe that each and every one of us, each and every one of you are here for a reason. You're here for multiple reasons. And it's your obligation. It's your requirement. You're obliged to become the best version of yourself. And one of the things that Kerry was saying before was about leaving a legacy. There's nothing more important than leaving a legacy. And every word that you say, every action that you do, every book that you write, every person that you touch, every kind word that you say to someone is part of your legacy. Remember that. And sometimes people think that the word legacy means that you have to leave, I don't know, an empire. You have to leave companies that last hundreds or thousands of years. And that's not the case. The case is that your legacy could be to inspire your children to do amazing things, to become better human beings than you are. And they could change the world. So you never know what your actions can do, what your actions can represent. It's called the Best You Expo because you have to become the best version of yourself. And I want you to continue to push yourself and do so. That's the whole idea of this expo, is to explore, to learn, to grow, and to do things that you've never done before. So I'm going to do a very quick 30 seconds and we're going to carry on. And I'm going to be introducing you to my next guest, who is Doria Cordoba. Back in 30 seconds.
If you're interested in finding out more about the amazing content we have, please go to www.thebestyou.online and get your 14-day free trial now.
Hey, and welcome back. So my next guest, as I said, her name is Doria Cordoba. I'm going to do a very quick bio intro here. So she's CEO and owner of Accelerated Business School, Money and You program, the organization that brought to the world entrepreneurial experiential. One of her missions is to transform educational systems around the world and eradicate poverty and hunger. Another, the greening of the world. So, Doria, I want to welcome you. How are you?
Hola,
yeah. I saw you had a mug there, so I have my cup of coffee here as well, Doria.
I got my green drinks, my tea. I have everything. I'm so excited. Congratulations. Felicidades. Ay, qué lindo. Muy lindo.
Thank you very much. So I met Doria through a mutual friend of ours, David Fagan, who's speaking at the Best Year Expo as well, who I truly love and admire because he's a serial entrepreneur and great at what he does. So I met Doria there, and I met a couple of people actually but David Fagan's. But I got to say that Doria instantly were connected. The moment we both knew we were Latinos, that was it. We had to speak. We connected, and then she invited me to her Fridays with Doria, which she does every Friday, and I was invited to speak there. I've come to a few. I was in LA, and now that I was setting up over here, it's been a little bit more challenging for me to do and attend. But I got to say, I've met the most amazing people at your weekends, and the work that you do, Doria, chapeau. Congratulations. You've impacted so many people around the world. And I remember one of your evenings, I met Ken Honda. Oh my God, what an aha moment. What an amazing moment. What amazing speakers you bring, panelists. And I remember Ken Honda touched me deeply. And then she started introducing me to people. That's what Doria does. And then my inbox was inundated with people that I've met thanks to Doria. So Doria, I want to thank you. Kudos to you. And I'm very excited to have you here speaking, to sharing your ideas, sharing your wisdom. What you do is so important. And also welcome also because I know we're going to be doing some Spanish speaking events. So Doria, what are you going to be sharing at the Best Year Expo?
Well, I am going to be on the main stage on August 5 at 5 p.m. California time. And I like that. Those are very powerful numbers. And I will be sharing about the accelerated business success model and all about creating an economic engine that you can actually use anytime, but particularly now. We have to get ready for the big recovery. And I think that the way to really keep your energy up is by really creating things or strengthening what you already have and to really begin to really see the future in a different way. And what I will be doing is I will be, also in different panels in different places. And I love your booths. Your booths are beautiful. And I have a whole bunch of downloads for people. My team was complaining a little bit. They said, you shouldn't be giving so many things away there. And I really just want to give people tools and chapters of my book and things so that they can really get ready. This is a very strange time in the world. So we need to do this. And thank you for having all these beautiful speakers and the music. It's an amazing platform. And there's many of us who are very impressed.
Thank you so much. Well, listen, we've started. I think kind of this is our first virtual event. The challenge I've had all my life is just I can't think small. And when I think big, it's got to be bigger. And obviously, if we were doing live events, the virtual had to be at a similar caliber, So we wanted to make sure that we connect. But that's what I'm insisting is this is a week of opportunities to network, to connect, to chat. Doria is going to be coming and going. You can go to a booth. You can schedule a meeting. You can schedule a talk. Doria has a phenomenal network of people, but everyone here, and I think people underestimate, I've got to say, speakers, coaches, trainers, with love, sometimes you should read your own books or take your own advice because sometimes you miss the opportunities within the community here. Fabrizio, who's speaking this, who's going to be joining me next, or Gabriel Nosovic, or obviously David Fagan, or Doria. Everyone here has not only knowledge, expertise, and contacts, and I want to incentivize you and invite you all to connect and work with each other. So, Doria, it's going to be on the 5th at 5. And I know we're also going to be having a Spanish panel. I think it's on the 3rd of August. So, for any Latinos, algunos que estéis aquí, venid, que vamos a hablar un poco del desarrollo personal y dónde vamos.
Eso va a ser en el tercero. Okay.
Yeah. So, Doria, thank you so much. And take care. I'll see you soon. And I'll see you around. I'll come and see you in the booth.
Come and see me in my booth, Doria Cordoba. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Doria. Okay, great. So I've got my next guest that I'm going to invite to come along. And, I just wanted to kind of say that Gabriel Nosovic is someone that was introduced to me also by Doria and also by, I think, Fabrizio, who also has introduced me to her. in the past. So, Gabriel, if you're there, I'm going to let you in a minute, and I'd like to kind of do a very quick introduction. So, Gabriel Nosovic has been doing what he does for a very long time, but he's just got this phenomenal reputation. But I just want to confirm, Gabriel, are you with us? Is Gabriel with us? Because if he's not with us, we can let Fabrizio Manzini, who I can see is there. So let's talk about, there he is. There's Gabriel. Gabriel, I'm going to let you in right now. Gabriel Nozovic is the co-founder of several personal transformational companies throughout Latin America. Argentina Works, SA, in Buenos Aires. Chile Works, SA, in Santiago, and World Works in Mexico City. He is a co-founder of World Works Incorporated in the United States. These organizations offer personal growth and transformational seminars and sponsor large-scale community service projects aimed at raising awareness in underprivileged populations in the Americas. So, Gabriel, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, excelente. Gracias por la invitación.
Mi placer. So, Gabriel, not only he's extremely knowledgeable, this man, but he's got this voice that you just have to listen to Gabriel, whatever words he says. So, Gabriel, thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited that this is going to be the first opportunity for us to work together and hopefully, build something amazing. So, Gabriel, what are you going to be sharing at the Expo? And then I want to ask you a couple of other questions.
Great. Yes. Well, my topic is learning how to receive. It's something that I have discovered over the years. I teach several courses, one of which is an abundance and prosperity course. And I realized that a lot of people underestimate their inability to receive. And that receiving is a way of giving. And so I'll develop the subject and do some experiential trainings to open the heart, to figure out what are the blocks, what are the subconscious beliefs that are actually blocking your ability to receive. Most people talk about giving and they know about a lot of things, but receiving is one of the critical ones that I think is completely underestimated in general. And I figured out some tuning forks for people to start practicing and opening up the gates of receiving in life. One time I had a colleague in the transformational world who came up to me and said, one of the things that I'm amazed about you is your ability to receive. How can you handle so much? Life is giving you constantly. I mean, people are pouring their love and you're like completely comfortable with that. And I thought, really? People have difficulty receiving? It just dawned on me that there was something that I could actually explore a little deeper and share with people and have people open up their ability to receive and figure out what could be blocking that in their lives so that they can actually generate abundance and prosperity.
Have you seen a change, Gabriel, in the level of consciousness with people, in the mindset and in the way that they can open themselves up? Because you're starting to see people that, I know it's very different in different countries, some places they're starting to get back to work and other places they're starting to get back to kind of a normal life. But then people are now very uncomfortable with that normal life. They kind of like enjoyed a lot of the things that they had. They don't like going to work anymore. What are you experiencing now?
Well, things have shifted dramatically in my mind when people actually had this opportunity, as a friend of mine says, detenimiento global, this global stopping of the world, which we have never experienced before. It completely recontextualized and reset everything. So people started, while being home, discovering a lot of things that were missing from their experience. Lack of connection, including their families with their kids or their spouse, because they were on the go. And, it took me by surprise. The first couple of weeks, I was a little stopped myself in introspection. And then suddenly I started reinventing myself. And I realized, I was doing trainings in Chile, Argentina, Mexico, but traveling all the time. And suddenly, I'm doing a training right now. So I took a little break to have this. And this training, I have people from Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Peru, Colombia, Mexico, Venezuela, República Dominicana, Australia, Spain, the United States, and Canada. Right. So it's a whole different world. I am sitting right here at home and I have all these people from all over the globe, and they're actually having a profound experience, and that never happened before. So there's a total shift in the way that I think we're looking at the world, and I think it's going to be completely different even after the pandemic is over, hopefully soon.
Absolutely. Well, Gabriel, we're delighted to have you here. Look, Gabriel, do you know the day that you're speaking?
I will be on the main stage on August 7th, I think around noontime, 11:45, noon.
Yeah,
something like that. And I think there's also a panel, a Spanish-speaking panel.
Yes, we're doing a Spanish-speaking panel, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Well, thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Gabriel. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. See you soon. Thanks a lot.
So, guys, well, I've got another guest who's going to be joining me, and I've already mentioned him, Fabrizio Manfini, who has an amazing story, and I met Fabrizio through several friends a couple of years ago, and he was one of those that kept on texting me, how are you, how's things, and he kept on connecting me with people. The moment I got off the phone, he was so generous and connecting me with so many amazing people, but we never lost connection. And then, kind of the first person I think when all the virtual expos went live and I was going to speak to the Spanish-speaking market was to reach to Fabrizio, who, not only is generous, but he's just a very congruent man, who's managed to connect not only with he's originally obviously from South America, but he's from Colombia, but he's managed to connect with the English-speaking, the American community, and he's got a phenomenal following. So Fabrizio, Dr. Fabrizio Manfini, he's Dr. Fab, is America's #1 healthy living media expert, a world-renowned chiropractor, Hay House International best-selling author of The Power of Self-Healing and co-host of his popular radio show, Self-Healing with Dr. Fab. He's also the best-selling author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, for the chiropractic soul. So, Fabrizio, very excited to have you here. Very excited to have you finally at the Expo. How are you?
Bernardo, it's such a beautiful pleasure. We've been waiting for this moment for a while. Yes. And, I've been watching you all morning and just seeing all of my friends in this stage. You have brought together some of the most, I believe, authentic, beautiful, influential people that I have met over the last 35 years in personal development. And we're all reflections of you. So I just want you to know that we're honored that we're part of this amazing virtual event.
Well, thank you so much, Fabrizio. Thank you so much. And because the camera, there's two heads, but his smile normally fits the whole camera. So, Fabrizio, we've spoken a couple of times. I did a podcast with you. We did one in English and Spanish. So you've been extremely creative and obviously taking advantage of this downtime to produce a lot of things and be all over the place. What are you finding yourself doing more of, and how has this helped you personally and professionally, to go through what we've gone through, or where we are right now?
Well, it's interesting because I have 4 different companies, and 2 of them depend on me being somewhere, especially my public speaking, which has been for 30 years. And like many of our friends that spoke earlier, we live on planes. We travel all over the world every week, me at least 2 times a week. So the first thing I did is I began to call many of my friends, including you, as to what were they doing. One of the things that I always do whenever I'm confronted with a challenge, with a new situation that I'm not familiar with, and as you know, this universal pause has taken everybody by surprise, but it has not exempted anybody. No matter what color you are, no matter what race, no matter what gender, no matter what age, no matter where you are in the world, you've been impacted. So I started listening to what people were doing to be able to pivot, to be able to reinvent themselves, like Gabriel said. And I came up with a 3-step process to do that in my life. And the first one was to really assess yourself where you are, honestly. Not with the optimistic feeling like, we're going to get out of this in a month and I'm just going to stay here and wait and see what happens. It reminds me of Who Moved My Cheese, that everybody loved that book, because unless you actually go chase where the cheese is, you're going to probably be very disappointed. And then I started recognizing that we had to listen to our customers with different ears and observe them differently, because this is not only a new normal, we don't even know what this is going to look like next month, next year, 10 years from now. And then be able to really know what our value is for those people, and then take a lot of action steps. So my talk, which is going to be on Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's called Thriving in the New Normal. And really what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach everybody what I had to learn from my life, but what I'm also teaching thousands of people, and that is how to thrive during this time and how to recognize that this pandemic is probably the greatest opportunity that we have ever seen for anyone to truly achieve what they really want, not what they were doing before.
I was saying to my daughter, who recently, she's working from home like a lot of other people, and we were just literally saying to her, so look, this is the time when you can really shift your careers, where you can really change, because businesses are now open, because before, hey, guess what? You can't work from home. No one can work from home. Or you can't teach from school or from home, or schools or doctors cannot help people from home. It's a new reality now. So I said to her, this is a time when you can pick up your computer and you can work anywhere in South America or in the beach in Spain. You can still do your same job, but guess what? So this is a time for people to really embrace it and to look at kind of learning new things, to completely reinventing themselves. And a lot of the times, I think we discussed this last time, Fabrizio, as well, is that a lot of the times what we have skills already that can be adapted to this new reality, to adapt to kind of becoming a better version of yourself, because reinventing isn't completely new. It's just a better version, isn't it?
I truly believe that all of us really prepare ourselves for this moment. Today I'm going to be speaking on 21 Days of How to Self-Heal. This is my 4th international best-selling book, probably what keeps me the most busiest over the last few years, where in the Spanish community, so I'm going to be in the Sala Español, I'm going to actually be sharing all the things that you can do to truly be healthy, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's after 30 years of researching and interviewing people that were told that they will never heal, and how did they heal? And then I put the science together to truly try to help people. So I'll be doing that today at, I believe it's 1 p.m. Pacific time in the Sala Española. So I'm excited about that. But like you said, Bernardo, in my opinion, we can either allow the circumstances to define us, or we can choose to define ourselves by the way we respond. And really the message, and I believe that this Best You Expo 2020 could not come at a better time, especially now that you've opened it to the world and we don't have to fly to London to attend, is the fact that we have to recognize that during these next 7 days, you're going to get more solutions and tools and tips than you probably ever thought that you could have available. And my suggestion is just keep an open mind, keep an open heart, and recognize that all of us that are here believe in you. All of us that are here support you. You're not alone in this journey. All of us are in this together. And that's why I feel so excited about being part of this community, and especially being with so many of my friends that are speaking with you this week.
Fabrizio, thank you so much. Good luck. And make sure, please, Fabrizio, record your talk as well and then send it to us, and we'll put it there for some of you that might be watching. And if not, you'll be able to watch this at the Best You TV later. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Un abrazo muy fuerte.
Gracias, Bernardo.
Ciao. Well, we're nearly at the end now of this first run, which is I've invited a few guests to come along. I hope you enjoyed it. Look at the caliber of people that we have. It's going to be an amazing week. It's going to be like this all week. It's going to be like this all week. It's going to be fantastic. So we're going to have a 5 minutes. We've got a next run now, which we've got some more information where you can obviously keep clued. And we've got some spots. I interviewed a lot of people over the years. And one of them that's coming up now is called Inspiring People with Dean Graziosi. So you can watch that. It's 3 minutes with him. And then we will be back. I'll be back at 11 o'clock on the dot. And I'm going to be presenting Judy May Murphy. So thank you so much. See you soon. Take care. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. So the show continues. The Best You Expo, day 1. The Best You Expo. This is the recording. Well, if you're watching it live, it's live. But if you're not watching it, then you're watching a recording. And this was the Best You Expo live, the virtual expo for LA. That was the 1st to the 7th of August. And we're very excited about bringing these virtual events and the opportunities that this brings us about connecting with more people and providing the platform to many people. At the moment, in this particular expo, we've got more than 350 sessions scheduled. And one of the things that I'm very excited about is how we can improve that technology, how we can grow with it, and how we can reach more people. And as you know, or if you don't know, we've got several expos already scheduled. And amongst those expos where we have Right now, apart from LA, we've got Dallas in October. Then after Dallas, we have scheduled Dubai. Then after Dubai, we're going to be doing Miami, a Latino Expo, and then we're going to be taking it to London, coming back to London where it originally started. So one of the things that I was sharing the other day is with a friend of mine. I was talking about the idea of what personal and professional growth means. And I'm going to be talking in my talk, which I'll be talking at the end of the week. It's going to be the question and the answers. I kind of understood and understand that within the personal professional growth, there's a lot of people that with love and respect, I really recommend they should read their own books. And what I mean by that is that there's a lot of incongruency. There's a lot of people that talk about, being happy, being confident, being successful, being wealthy, talk about losing weight, talking about all these things. And then on the other hand, it's completely incongruent to who they are and what they represent. And it comes across. So I think, if anything, the beauty of this new paradigm, this new consciousness that we have is that real leaders are starting to step up. And it's very easy to identify those that aren't really congruent. So I think one of the most important things that is needed within the personal professional growth industry is more professionals that are experts, but experts in being honest, experts in being congruent, in making sure that they're aligned with the things that they believe. And I don't believe that personal professional growth is necessarily about wealth. And I'm just talking about wealth. It's talking about wealth of knowledge. I think it's more about how can you really explore the opportunities of growing as an individual in enhancing your skills. And I was sharing before the idea around that we're all obliged to become the best version of ourselves. And we are. We're all obliged to become the best version of ourselves because we're here to leave a legacy. I explore the idea that from the beginning of time, I think it's estimated that we've had around 107, 108 billion people live on the planet, and there's around 7 billion now. And what I share is the idea of how many people of those billions of people that have been around for a long time, how many of them have really made a dent? How many of them have made a real big difference? And I think that personal professional growth has to hold the flag of change. And I mean that we hold that responsibility because I think it's proven that we can't leave it to the politicians. If this coronavirus has proven us anything, is that there's so many incompetent leaders all around the world. There's so many incompetent leaders all around the world who have literally messed it up and made it even worse for all of us. So I think this is a time for leaders to step forward. I think it's a time for this new paradigm, this new time of consciousness, of appreciating and understanding the really important things. And the really important things, I think, is to do more and not to have more. I saw a great documentary on Netflix the other day, and it talks about, it's based on The Minimalist. It's the book, but there's a documentary. And it's about how society should be moving towards the idea of having less. I think the whole documentary talks about how over the years, what we have done is through advertising agencies who started pushing and plugging these things through television, in the 60s or whatever, is now part of our life. And that's why kids, at the age of 3 or 4 or 2, they start asking for the new toy, or they're asking for the new iPad or the new phone or whatever it is that they want. So we're on this vicious circle of wanting more because we need more, because we have to have more. And what it's bringing is just literally destroying the planet. And that's what I think is very, very sad. It's destroying the planet in many ways. And I think this new time, what it will do or should do is get us to understand what are those important things and what are the really important things in life. And having a lot of things isn't it. And I think if we start exploring the ideas around that we don't need that much to be happy, because I think a lot of people really think that, in order to be happy, and that's what publicity, that's what these advertising agencies have done to us, is that we need 16 pairs of jeans and we need 14 suits and we need 4 cars and we need a bigger house and we need more clothes and we need more things, more items. And the fact is that we don't. And I think I hope that's where we're moving. I've transitioned and again, with my effort in being congruent myself with my own message, I can't be the founder of the Best You not being congruent with the things that I believe in. So for me, I've evolved and I've changed a lot over the years. And I've evolved and changed over the years because I'm on that quest of becoming the best version of myself. And if that entails me really thinking deeper and doing more things and having less things, because, you know, at the end of the day, ultimately, we're all here for a limited period of time. And unfortunately, I lost my mom this year. And I understand, I've known for a long time because my dad died when I was 15. But what I'm saying is that I understand and appreciate mortality. And it's looking at what my mom, you know, like many people, just collect things. And then all of a sudden, you know, these things aren't needed because, you know, you can't take them with you. And there we are, you know, trying to get rid of my mum's clothes and, you know, where did it go? So we don't need things. What we need to do is we need to leave a legacy. We need to change the world. We need to make the planet a better place. And that's what the whole idea of the Best You, that's the whole idea of the Best You Expo is. That's the whole idea of these real life stories that a lot of the talented and amazing people that I bring or we bring together to you is all about. So with that long spiel, as they call it, I wanted to kind of bring you into a little bit more around the Expo. And I've got a couple of guests joining me shortly, and I'm going to be also introducing my co-host for the week, who is Tony Boldy. But before I do, I wanted to announce a couple of things that we've got planned for you. Now, a very good friend of mine is Jason Vale. Jason Vale is the juice master. He's based in the UK, but he's built a phenomenal career. And Jason has a great story. Jason has a great story because he, in particular, was overweight. He had eczema. He used to smoke and he was depressed. And he had a very tough upbringing. And he changed his life with juicing. And he has, for me, one of the most phenomenal brands on the planet. He's one of the most congruent guys that I know in the industry. He really walks his talk. And Jason in particular, spoke at my Expo a couple of years ago. And one of the things that he says is that the social security, the national health in the UK is the medical system, the hospital system in the UK called NHS. And you know, there's so many people that are getting operations because they're either very obese or because, you know, they're not losing weight, because they have a lot of sugar and because of their diets, basically, because of the diets that they're literally killing themselves. And they're putting so much pressure on the NHS because that, you know, smoking, well, you know, that has effects, not exercising has effects, eating the bad things has effects. And there's obviously a burden on the national health system in the UK. And he was saying is don't ask what you want the NHS to do for you. What is it you can do for the NHS? You know, when these national health systems are spending billions of dollars in helping people, you really have to think, you know, what is it you could do in order to not be a burden, but to support them. And that starts with you taking care of yourself. So I wanted to share with you that we're going to be showing a documentary, and the documentary is on Monday, I believe, and it's called The Super Juice Me. And it's a documentary that he did a couple of years ago. The documentary is actually tomorrow night. And what I wanted to do is show you a very quick clip so you get an idea of this amazing film that you can watch at the Best You Expo tomorrow evening. It's going to be at 6 p.m. And it's just a great documentary, and it's so inspiring and so much to learn. So let's have a quick watch at this clip so you get an idea what the documentary is about. Yeah, great. It's going to be a great documentary. So I highly recommend that you come and join us and watch it. It's going to be very inspiring. Now, additionally to that, I've got a great surprise for you. Now, thank you to Judy May Murphy. She's connected me with, what I feel is an absolute artist. He's a violinist. He's based in Europe. And I'm going to be interviewing him. He's Yuri Revic. And Yuri is going to be playing for us live at the Best You Expo. I'm so excited. We're bringing so much talent and so many different things to you. So Yuri is going to be playing, as I said, I'm going to be interviewing him live, 10, 15 minutes. And then additionally, he's going to be doing a live performance for us. And it's going to be during the week. It's all on the schedule, so check it. And additionally to that, we're going to probably be playing some of his music. So I just wanted to give you a quick clip. It's only going to be a minute, but it's beautiful. And it's going to open my next guest. And I'm going to bring my co-host. And then we're going to take it from there. Thank you so much. Wow, so much talent. So honored and so blessed to have him play for us this week. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm Tony. I'm going to bring you and Tony Boldy. I'm going to ask you to come and join me. Tony, how are you?
I'm good. Right before we went live, of course, my computer crashes, so we just roll with the punches. But we're good. I'm back up.
Well, good.
Literally seconds, but that's how we do this live. The show must go on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, luckily I've got you guys there as well in case, something happened. So Tony Boldy has been a great supporter of the Best Year Expo. He was my host in the Best Year Expo in Long Beach. We did a couple of years ago. We had 3,000-4,000 people show up over there. So he's been a great fan. Tony, tell us, because you've done a little bit of everything. You're a DJ, you're a producer, you do a lot of things. So I want to thank you so much for supporting me over these years. You've been a great ambassador of the brand, and you've always said beautiful things about us and what we do.
You're doing a great thing for so many people. And it's nice that you're now on Roku TV, which is wonderful, and you can reach so many more people. And it's just really inspiring to watch you. So I'm honored to be part of this.
Thank you so much, Tony. So look, what's your take in kind of what we're doing, and what are you going to be sharing? Apart from obviously interviewing people and keeping the show moving and going, what are you going to be sharing?
Well, in about 1994, I discovered Landmark. My mother had gone and she became enroller. And so she said I should really try doing the weekend seminar at Landmark. And that was kind of my wake-up call, and Celestine Prophecies and The Secret. And then I went to Agape and Michael Beckwith, and really just went down this path of self-discovery and really surrender. I just hit this week 9 years of sobriety. So I'm really starting to understand what it's like to feel, and not to avoid what a lot of people don't like to feel if it hurts, right? So we numb it. But I'm learning to just live in it, and nothing lasts forever, good nor bad. And just to go through the experience like you're watching a movie, and what can you take from it? And so if I'm teaching a lot now, I teach a lot of young kids acting and self-empowerment and motivational skills. And so from watching you guys, I get more information, I get more energy that I can share with this younger generation. So today it's just absorb.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Tony. You're a positive guy. You're always positive, and that's what I like about you. That's why especially in a place like LA, which I know everyone is awesome and everyone's amazing. But,
well, they're all locked inside if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So you can actually get from place to place now. But this is the strangest time that I've ever experienced. But again, I've seen some of your speakers say that there's a lot of breakthroughs. Jack Canfield was talking about he might be making more money now because he can bring more of the world closer together and share his message on platforms just like this. So I'm enjoying this not the COVID, of course, but I'm enjoying this new technology and us experimenting and pushing the limits. And you've really pushed the limits with what you're doing for this virtual expo. And it's only day one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did say that at the beginning when we started the show, I did kind of like inoculate some people saying, hey, because at the end of the day, technology is technology. And I think all of us, we live with it nowadays, and we know how it works. And how it works is that all of a sudden it doesn't work. And that's it. And all you got to do is just like take it and move on with it. So, for example, we've had some technical issues today with some of the talks that people weren't able to attend or watch. Guess what? We've got them recorded, or they will be recorded. We'll stick them back in there. People will be able to watch that tomorrow. When you go to a live event, guess what? You can't do that. If you miss the speaker, unless you've got a time machine, you can't go back and watch it. So here we can. And at the end of the day, we have to embrace what we have. And I think we have to carry on pushing and making sure that we can get things better. But I was talking to a couple of people. There's so much great technology already being developed, and so many great people, developing some new things. So I think it's only going to be the beginning, and I'm very excited about where it's going.
It's like the origination of television, right? That was live TV originally.
Absolutely. And you look at us. I mean, we've got this thing where we're literally running this event throughout 7 days, and it's being shown in Roku. So anyone in the US could be watching this now in their home. They won't be able to watch the whole expo, but they'll be able to watch all the main stage speakers and everything that we're doing here. So I think that's pretty special. Yeah. So Tony, thank you so much. I'm going to just leave you there. I'm going to bring in my next guest, who I want to introduce. Her name is Antonia Harmon. So Antonia is an energetic force to be reckoned with. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that. Just wait till you hear her accent. She's a renowned emotional trauma expert and healer, and she's treated thousands of people around the world for a range of debilitating traumas, ranging from chronic depression and anxiety to helping people unleash their own divine empowerment. So, Antonia.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Fabulous. How are you?
Fabulous. You look fabulous, Antonia. I have to say, you look fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. So listen, we're very excited to have you at the Expo. You're obviously going to be sharing your expertise on the main stage. And I know we spoke originally when you came on board, and we're very excited for you to kind of share what you're doing. So tell us, what drew you towards the Expo, and what are you going to be talking about either on your talks and in your booth, because you're going to be there as well throughout the week?
I'm looking forward to breaking America from the comfort of my house in Finsbury Park in London. I just thought that was such a cool idea to be able to really make an impact on an American and a global audience, just, whilst being at home. Because it's obviously doing a show in America makes it very expensive to actually be traveling to America and taking a team with me. So to be able to do that from home is just a really wonderful thing. So that's why I've decided that LA was the place to go. And also, I think people in LA and America at large are very interested in energy healing. They're always looking for the next new thing, and they're very open to different energetic work and forward thinking in many ways. So I thought LA was been where I've been dreaming of getting to, and now you've got me here. So thank you very much for that.
Well, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that I'm talking about energy. That I technically moved to LA last November, and I just come back to Europe because, I had to make the decision. I wanted to come back and see my family.
Yeah.
But there is a very special energy there, I got to say, and I've always felt very at home, and they've made me feel very at home. I mean, I built a phenomenal network in a very short period of time, much bigger in LA than over here. So I can imagine that people will love you and engage kind of with the things that you're going to be doing. So you've got massive expertise. What are you going to be sharing at the Expo?
I think that emotion is energy. And I think it's very clear because when you hang around with someone who's sad or angry or upset, you spend 2 minutes with them and you can feel that they're sad or angry or upset. It's just radiating from them. They're broadcasting that emotion. And then if you look at the word emotion or energy emotion, as I like to call it. So what I've done is I've spent the last 13 years largely in a trance state, awakening my latent abilities. And now I've got some superpowers. And that's what I want to share with the world. So if someone can feel a trauma, if they can think about a situation and allow those emotions to bubble up, open up Pandora's box, as it were. If they can feel it, then I can dissolve it. And this goes so far as different individual emotions, different situations people have had, or grief or sadness. And even I had a situation with my level 2 students recently who managed to clear somebody's 30-year depression in under 10 minutes, which was in class level 2 and blew us all away. Obviously, this guy had been on a lot of medication, and I've seen everyone around. And now it's 2 months later and he's not had a whisper of his depression. So I think that there can be some big work in helping a lot of people with what I'm currently doing.
And energy is so important. I mean, I've talked with a lot of experts we've had over the years, and you're quite right. I mean, we all have those people. Well, I don't have a lot of those anymore. I've got rid of them in my life. When you're younger, you put up with them because you've got to be polite. But when you're older, you haven't got much time to live with them. So, excuse me, if you're negative, and that's my favorite hashtag no negativity. There are those people that literally walk into the room and the lights turn off, the air conditioning. Exactly. And you just feel your body like shrinking. So what are your thoughts regarding those negative vampires? What do you do with them?
They need help. Come to see me. We'll help you with that as well. I just think that they are feeding on emotional energy, and that's what happens to a lot of people. They just get stuck. And I don't think they realize. They think a lot of people are psychopaths and don't really realize they're feeding on emotional energy. But if you feel that you're doing that, I don't think they've got the facilities within themselves to be able to generate energy naturally, and so that but not largely because of trauma. So it's important to dissolve those traumas so that they become self-regulating in a way that they previously weren't. So if you're a victim of them, then we can help you deal with the traumas. But it's basically we clear traumas, and traumas cause all sorts of issues, including, I think, largely disease. I think disease, the focus of disease, I think is very important, as you were just mentioning, having a good diet, exercising, having vitamins and minerals, getting outside and getting sunlight. Those are all very, very basic things. But I don't think we're thinking about how we consume emotions and how we consume trauma and the effect that has on our physical form as much as anything else. So I think it's very, very important to just be okay within ourselves and forgive. And what I do is I teach fast track forgiveness. I dissolve emotional traumas, that stagnation around you. I can clear pretty much instantaneously, which is what I'm here to show you guys.
Brilliant. Well, Antonia, we're very excited to have you. We're very excited and love your energy. So, guys, what I'm going to suggest, obviously, any and all of you that are here at the Best You Expo, remember, this is a week where you come and go, you watch the speakers. Sometimes you might watch them live, you might watch a recording, but definitely go into their booth, have a look at what they have to offer. There's all sorts of products, there's all sorts of courses, workshops, and activities that you can do. And that's what it's all about. Look, don't go and spend some time on Netflix, because guess what? You're not going to learn much from there. Although I did share a great documentary that I learned. But I'm just saying is that, spend your time wisely. And that's what I think. A lot of people I'll share some facts with you guys, okay? And these are facts that shocked me. So I don't know if you know, but we spend an average of 25, 26 years sleeping. Now, that's a lot of sleep. Since I found that out, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. every morning. And so I've been doing that for the last couple of years. And guess what? I've actually started to get some of that time back. The other thing is we tend to spend around 7 years watching television. Now, that's a lot of television. Oh, my God. 7 years watching television. Imagine if you did something else, like stay in bed with your other half. So, there's a lot of things that you can do that are going to be helpful, more helpful than that. We spend around 4 years on social media. So spend a week here. Spend 4 days, and embrace yourself with all these amazing speakers. Antonia, thank you so much. Looking forward to your talk, and I'll be
on the MMI stage on Monday at 3:00, and I'm on the main stage at 11:00 on Wednesday. Thank you so much.
Repeat that for me, Antonia.
I'm on the MMI stage at 3 p.m. on Monday, and I'm on the main stage at 11 a.m. on Wednesday.
Brilliant. Antonia, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Great, guys. So as you can see, we've got quite a few Brits. I've got some great friends of mine that are here, and I'm going to be talking to some of them. We've got my friend Paul Barros, the pitch doctor. I've got Sarah Davison, who started speaking. She's a very good friend. She's a divorce coach, and she's going to be there. She's going to be here as well, speaking. She's been at all of my events as well. But we've got quite a lot of Brits. I've got Louise Dockery. Oh my God, Suzanne Paul. Lots of speakers, and I feel terrible when I start saying some names. I'm not sure I'm going to forget a lot of them. Now, I am going to bring you my next guest. And my next guest is someone that I've met a couple of times. Now, we've seen each other. We knew who we were, but we never actually really got to connect. We had a lot of very good mutual friends. We have a lot of good mutual friends. We didn't have. It's just one of them, unfortunately, was Ryan Long, a good friend of ours who used to run the City Gala, who's changed and helped the lives of so many people. Kudos to you, Ryan. A great loss, another great loss this year. And I met James there at his last event. And apart from that, James is a very good friend of another good friend of mine, Bill Walsh, who's also going to be speaking at the Best You Expo. And Bill has spoken also at all of my events. Bill is a great guy. And Bill connected me with James the other day. And again, I'm a massive believer in serendipity. And I hope you are too, because every single thing happens for a reason. Every connection you make, everything that you read, every person that you come across with is there and is happening for a reason. And sometimes I talk about these opportunities. They're the size of tankers, petrol tankers. They're so big, but people tend to walk around them because they just don't see them. And what I've learned with life and with time is to connect the dots, is to connect, why am I meeting people? Why is this text message coming in now? Why am I connecting with this person now? And I've managed to understand that. And once I've started understanding that, things have started to make a lot more sense to me. And my life has changed since I really started to connect that. And I'll share this story with you. So we had a scheduled speaker today. Again, my friend Aaron Young, who's going to be speaking today. And unfortunately, his father passed away and he was not able to join us today. And literally, I think it was like half an hour before that happened, there was a text message coming from Bill Walsh saying, hey, you've got to get James to speak. And I think there was another message that we already exchanged with James. And then I think, well, there you go. There's a reason why James and I are connecting right now. But he's a phenomenal speaker. He's an entrepreneur, best-selling author of the top 5 frequencies of high performance, philanthropist, and one of the nation's top life and business strategists. As one of the world's most renowned motivational speakers, genuinely his dynamic personality and highly sought-after resource in business and professional circles for Fortune 500 CEOs, small business owners, nonprofit community leaders from all sectors, society looking who are interested in expanding opportunities. Now, I've seen James speak quite a few times. I've actually read his book, and I've got to say it was brilliant. And I think he's a phenomenal speaker. So I'm excited and delighted that he came across our way, and he's speaking with us later on today. And I just wanted to do a personal intro to James. James, thank you so much for being here.
I'm excited. How are you doing?
I'm very good, my friend. Very good.
You know, it dawned on me that where we met, actually, and I'm a good friend of Aaron Young's and John Shin, and everybody I know is on your platform.
Yeah. No, many people, James, and I know you're very good friends of Les as well. Yeah. So I'm very excited to have you here. I'm glad we can make it happen. Yeah. So, James, how's things with you? And you know, with everything that's gone on, and how has life changed if in any way? And what are you working on right now?
Well, actually, our business has exploded. You know, in the midst of any calamity, there's always opportunity. It's really about solving a problem and filling a need. And communication is the next best currency, because with great communication, you can take this time where a lot of people are shut in to enhance our relationships, and to even the speaking into your life, into yourself, to really take the time to find out where you really want to go, what message and what mark you want to leave on the world, because I know that all of our success can be somebody else's miracle. So I'm working on recording all of my speaker programs. Real estate's going really, really well, but speaking and training and getting on different platforms like this to and empower and to inspire the hearts and minds of people, that they have a voice, and how to use that voice to make a big difference.
And isn't it a shame, James, that there's so many people that have so many great messages, so much to say, and we can see. I mean, you're a mentor, you're a coach, you work with people, you support businesses and entrepreneurs, and you can see that brilliance that they have in them that they can't see themselves. And it's a time for people to step up, isn't it? It's a time for leaders to come forward and really contribute.
Yes. Yeah. And it's really about being fully self-expressed. I was listening to Tony earlier, and I'm an old Landmark guy back in the early 90s. So I know about the already always listening, and that's also a part of communication. But when you get the time to just sit back, like every morning I go outside and I look at the water and I look at the sky, and I just sit back and to appreciate life in itself. And just look at there's always more, and everyone has a voice. Everyone has something to contribute. And that's why I love the Best You Expo, because it's really all about discovering the best you and stepping into that each and every day, because all of us are nature's greatest miracle.
Absolutely. And I love your message. So, James, your book, it really empowered me. I loved it. I thought it was a very, very interesting book.
Well, you know, frequency and energy is always moving, and we are electrical beings. So we transmit energy from one person to another, and everyone has it. And sometimes we become afraid of it. I remember when I was very young, I would see these things and feel these things and know these things and didn't know why I knew them. And it was frightening, you know, and I find a lot of people live their life in fear waiting to happen and low grade upset. And I'll tell you, when you learn to tap into a frequency, that's when you get into a zone. I'm watching you speak, and it's just so seamless. That's a frequency. And every one of your viewers, all the listeners, is something that we do extremely well. And you tap into it, you get that state of click, that zone where it's just in a state of flow. And that's the frequency. But when you tap into that frequency, a negative frequency doesn't exist. It's like when you get an AM station, then FM doesn't even count anymore. So you have to tap into the frequency and discover how to use that energy and that force just to make the world better and make your world better and live your life with happiness and joy and creating input in society each and every day.
And James, I've got to say, oh my God, do you flow, man? I mean, when you go on stage and you start speaking, and I was actually sharing this with a friend of mine, and I'm sure you got your take on it. Because sometimes when I speak and I go on stage, you know, and I never follow a script. Give me one and I'll throw it out the window. And don't give me a PowerPoint presentation. I can't even click the ticker. So, you know, kind of, there's sometimes when I really feel that I where did that come from, you know? And I was talking to a friend of mine around the idea of wisdom and channeling, you know, and how does that come? And are we actually channeling? And obviously I believe in in being in that frequency. I believe in the energy. And I believe also that, that we do channel knowledge that comes through us, like ideas. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, absolutely. You're getting to that point of surrender, the total release, and then you become fully self-expressed. And that is the purest form of being honest. And that's where the power comes in that vulnerability, and placing yourself in a state. Because a lot of times, so many people are very nervous and have a fear about speaking, whether it be in a boardroom, whether it be in a social gathering, or a wedding, or even on stage, because they're afraid about how they're going to look and if they're going to say the right things. And I think that's because when you're speaking, you have to remember it's never about you. It's only about the people that you're speaking to. So you're not the star. You're the director. The audience is the star. If you're speaking to your wife, that's the star. You're speaking to your children. You're speaking to a church or in any form, they're the stars. What do you want to contribute? Because as the director, your goal and your focus is to help them win their Oscar, to help them win, to create wins where everybody walks away a little bit better, and even yourself, because you'll get a great understanding as well. So as you teach, I always say once taught, twice learned. So you channel, you let it go, you study your information, and you let it rip and just speak into the hearts, the minds, and even the nervous system of another human being. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, love it. Thank you so much, James. So I love the idea, the concept of Liz Gilbert and her book. I'm not sure if you read it, but I've listened to the audiobook, Big Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And I love she's actually got a TED Talk as well. And it's around the idea of ideas being entities that literally, are traveling around the world looking for a home, a place to become a reality. And ideas come to you and and you can really see that, and then the idea obviously wants to become a reality. And if those ideas don't become a reality, these ideas then go and find someone else that will make them become a reality. And that's how inspiration, that's how the poets, that's how all the people, all of a sudden they get this wisdom, this channeling. And I love that concept. And it really comes down to this. How many times and I'm saying all of us, how many times have all of us seen something oh my God, I thought of that 3 years ago, and it's true. Yeah. But in her book, she actually talks about how a particular book idea that she had literally went from her to a close friend where they never exchanged the information. Wow. And then she wrote the book. And when she shared the script, she couldn't believe it because she told her, look, this is what I wrote. This is what you wrote. And it was pretty much the same idea. It's a beautiful concept. I love it.
Yeah, I would just say this. It's like when you have a radio, like right now, if somebody's watching this feed, there may not be any music in the background, but there is music in the room because the frequency is already there. So like you said, the ideas are already out there because it travels. It never stops. It never dies. It just keeps moving. And if you were to put a radio into a room right now and plug it up, you turn it on, you'll be able to pick up the reception of the frequency that's already there because the song, the channel, or the talk show is not in the radio. It's in the frequency that's around you. So when you are speaking or you're doing whatever you're doing well and you're in your space and you just tap in, that's when you got it. And all those ideas that are like your ideas, the light will attract that same light. That's what they mean when they say what you want really wants you. And that's what they say also, like Job said, the things I have feared have come upon me. So whatever you focus on in your heart, and you focus on your bills instead of your goals and dreams, you'll manifest more of the same in your life and create more worry. So it's really about getting clarity on the things that you really want, having some big goals and big dreams. There's no magic and small ones, and making them ginormous. So when the challenges come, you can always see the goal. And you never lose sight of that. And where the head goes, the body usually falls.
Love it, James. So listen, we're delighted and honored to have you. You're going to be speaking later on today. That's going to be at
6 p.m. Pacific.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's it.
No, 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Pacific. Yep. You're on at 4 p.m. Pacific. So I want to invite you all, welcome you all. And again, for some of you that might be unlucky enough to not be able to watch it live, we're going to be recording this as well. We're going to be playing it again tomorrow and the next couple of days. So thank you so much, James. We're delighted to have you. Thank you.
Glad to be here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great day. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a few more minutes. I'm going to invite Tony to come and join me.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, Tony. How are you?
I'm good. Ready for anything.
Good. Well, look, I'm just going to share this one. This very quick video that I did about thinking big, because I thought it would be very appropriate with what James has just been saying.
One of the things I frequently say is that we don't think about what we're thinking about. And not only we're not thinking about what we're thinking about, we just have really terrible thoughts. A lot of people just have this terrible internal dialogue, which all they're doing is just being detrimental to themselves. They're saying terrible things to themselves. So the first thing you need to be is you need to be aware. You need to be aware of your thoughts. You need to be able to think what you're thinking about and making sure that what you're thinking about are things that are going to help you, empower you. And that's what I say normally, is that the quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you ask yourself. If you ask yourself empowering questions, unconsciously you're going to start finding ways in where you can find a solution to that, to go where you want to go. And one of the things I really find interesting and fascinating, that there's so many people that think, but then they think small. Oh my God, why would you? If you're going to think big. It's free. Think big.
Yeah, I have so many people. I come across that, Tony, all the time, kind of like, I say it's free because I just have so many people that actually, they're scared of thinking big. Right. They're scared of thinking big, and they just have these terrible issues and challenges where they just can't do that. I think that's one of the beautiful things. Sorry, go ahead.
Someone said to me one time, just because you start it doesn't mean you have to finish it. And that actually leveled it out for me. Because if I think big and I feel like I've got to complete this, it's overwhelming. But if I think I can start this and it can grow big, then you surrender to the process. You surrender to the results. You just start and stop thinking about what if, and just, I posted something on Facebook today where it said something like, don't worry about all the things that can go wrong. It's from your site. Don't worry about all the things that can go wrong. What about all the things that can go right? And you posted that on your Best You site. And so, that stuff I'm sitting with today, and that's the stuff we're going to be sharing all week and obtaining information from other people and sharing that information when we go to our other platforms. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, a lot of people, I think, and that's where I talk about the idea of mortality, of understanding, that we're here for a limited period of time, and we obviously have to push the boundaries, because there will be a time that, hey, hopefully, I don't know, I would like to go in a quick kind of manner. I don't want to be suffering any kind of thing for a long time. Right. But I just want to make sure that whenever it did happen, I just want to say, you know what, I kicked some ass. I kicked some global derrière, which is ass in French for those that might not understand the word. I kicked some global derrière.
Have you ever heard, and I'm just being funny, that when you turn your car back in, you don't want to turn it in spanking brand new, no scratches, no ripped leather. You want to have really used that vehicle when you get your next one. So I kind of equate that to, I take care of myself to the best of my ability, but the boats are safe in the harbor, but they're built to go out to sea.
Yeah.
And so if we're sitting in the harbor and we're safe, it's not what we were built for.
Yeah.
So I use that a lot when I get nervous, because, when you speak in front of lots of people, you just don't know who you're going to come across. You just don't know how exposed you are. And I could sit in my mind and go crazy and go, is there a crazy man out in the audience? I mean, you just don't know anymore in today's world. And so you just have to go, hey, I believe there's a bigger power than myself that's guiding me, and I just need to show up. And I feel like I have a force field of protection. But
there's always definitely a crazy person in the room. I think you all know that. you can trust the universe that there's always going to be a crazy one, if not more. There's always going to be a complainer and a whinger and a negative guy, and there's always going to be a funny guy. So, Tony, I'm excited. Thank you for being here. So, Tony's going to be hosting. We've got our next guest. We've got a panel regarding some influencers that we've got working with us. Bronnie and Adelaide have done a fantastic job in bringing us some great people. So you're going to be hosting that, and then you're going to carry on hosting the rest of the afternoon. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning and carry on with this amazing week that we have lined up. So thank you so much.
And you're 8 hours ahead of us, right? So
yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm feeling good. I can still keep going, but I need, I'm gonna pace myself.
Well, just wait in the wings for me. We'll see how the day one goes before you go to bed.
All right.
So, all right, my friend.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you so much. 5 minutes.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.